Welcome back to Chrono Globe. Today we're diving into one of the most intense and headline-grabbing conflicts of our time, the war between Israel and Iran. This isn't just about two countries fighting. It's about history, technology, power, and the fate of an entire region. Let's break it down with simple words, smart insights, and a story that will keep you watching to the end. Why are Israel and Iran fighting? Let's start at the beginning. Israel and Iran weren't always enemies. Subscribe for history, culture, and discovery in every episode. In fact, they were once on friendly terms. But in 1979, Iran went through a big change, the Islamic Revolution. The new government viewed Israel as a threat to Islam. Since then, relations between the two countries have gone from bad to worse. One of the main issues is nuclear fear. Israel believes Iran is trying to build nuclear weapons. Iran insists it's just for peaceful energy. But Israel doesn't trust them, and that fear drives much of their actions. Instead of directly fighting, they've spent years attacking each other through other groups. Iran supports Hezbollah in Lebanon and Hamas in Gaza. Israel responds with airstrikes and secret operations. It's been a shadow war until now, the spark that lit the fire. Tensions had been building like a volcano. For years, both sides carried out cyber attacks, airstrikes, and spy missions. But on June 13, 2025, things exploded. Israel launched a massive military operation called Operation Rising Lion. It was one of the biggest strikes in modern Israeli history. Over 100 Iranian targets were hit, including nuclear facilities and military bases. Even Tehran, Iran's capital, experienced huge explosions. More than 200 Israeli fighter jets dropped over 300 bombs. This wasn't a warning. It was a clear message. We won't let you build the bomb. How did Iran respond? Iran hit back immediately and with force. They launched waves of ballistic missiles and armed drones at Israeli cities like Tel Aviv and Haifa. Some were shot down by Israel's advanced air defense, but others broke through, causing damage and casualties. For the first time, this was a direct war. No middlemen, no proxies, no cover, just Israel and Iran openly clashing. The Middle East hasn't seen anything this bold in decades. The human cost. Every explosion on the news represents real people, real suffering. In Iran, at least 138 people have died so far from Israeli airstrikes. Many were civilians, some were children. Israel has lost at least 13 people from Iranian missiles, with many others injured. Cities like Tel Aviv saw buildings destroyed and streets covered in debris. Civilians on both sides rushed to shelters. In Tehran, people hid in mosques and metro stations. In Israel, families sat in underground bunkers. This war isn't just about governments. It's hurting ordinary people. The technology of war. This isn't a war like those in history books. It's being fought with modern tools, cutting-edge tech, and advanced weapons. Israel relies on the Iron Dome, a defense system that shoots incoming missiles out of the sky. Iran counters with waves of drones, trying to overwhelm and break through. But it's not just bombs and drones. Hackers from both countries are attacking power grids, banks, and government websites. The war is happening in the air and online. What's at stake? This isn't just a regional fight. It could have global consequences. The biggest fear is nuclear. Israel believes it must act now before Iran builds nuclear weapons. If Iran does get the bomb, other countries, like Saudi Arabia and Turkey, might try to build their own. That could spark a nuclear arms race across the Middle East. There's also the economy. Iran's oil refineries and pipelines have been targeted, with most of its oil exports going through just one port. Even a small disruption can send oil prices soaring. That means you might feel this war at the gas station or grocery store. The bigger picture. This conflict could easily grow beyond just Israel and Iran. Major powers like the US, Russia, and European countries are watching closely. Some are secretly helping behind the scenes. If things spiral, it could pull in more nations and trigger a much larger war. There's also the risk of more proxy fighters getting involved. Groups like Hezbollah in Lebanon or Hamas in Gaza could open new fronts, turning a two-country war into a full regional crisis. This isn't just a fight between neighbors, it's a fuse that could light a wider fire. The leaders behind the war. This war isn't just about tanks and missiles, it's also about people, leaders who are making life or death decisions. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has taken a hard stance. He believes Israel must strike now before it's too late. For him, this is a fight for national survival. Iran's leaders, including its supreme leader and top military generals, have called the attacks an act of war. They've vowed to keep fighting until Israel stops. Both sides are digging in, and neither wants to back down. Is peace even possible? You might wonder, can this ever end peacefully? Right now, both sides are too deep into the conflict. But behind the scenes, some diplomats are talking. The US and some European nations are pushing for peace talks. There are whispers of a ceasefire. It's not much, but it's something. History shows us even the most brutal wars can end with dialogue. Why this story matters to you. You may not live in Israel or Iran, but this conflict affects you more than you might think. Oil prices can go up, supply chains can break, markets can crash. And worst of all, nuclear weapons could enter the picture. This is a global story, and you're living through it. The Israel-Iran war isn't just about missiles and headlines. It's about decades of fear, politics, and power struggles. It's about two nations who believe they're fighting to survive. And it's about what kind of world we want to live in. Here at Chrono Globe, we believe that understanding history, both ancient and unfolding, makes us all stronger and smarter. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. What should Chrono Globe explore next? Let us know down below. This is Chrono Globe, where history comes alive, one story at a time.